Hello, everyone. This is JD and Patus here, the Dork duo themselves, and we will be playing the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, which is the first game in the duology of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Ooh,
So,
yeah, this looks so weird.
now,
I mean,
these series of games take place at the earliest point in the Ace Attorney chronology. So they are the very beginning. Alright. New game.
does the protagonist still say objective? Not
Objection.
objective, but objection.
Yeah.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its
Oh,
doors,
look at it.
British
It looks so
transformation
cute.
brought
Yeah.
great waves of Western influence.
I'm gonna bring up these falling on my side.
Yeah, I
There you
turned a little
go.
bit on my end too.
The revolution
Yeah, this-
washed over the land.
Oh, it's so
bringing life
timey.
into
This reminds me of
exciting and
JoJo.
unsettling.
Well,
It was a
we're
period
kind of close to that time period, actually.
and some
Oh,
Like
snap.
the early 1800s.
tired.
Money.
Yeah.
Look at it. Whoa. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an
He's got a
extraordinary
gun.
story.
Uh-oh.
I like how the art looks like on this too. It looks
Yes.
cool.
Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure.
Now, if you just JoJo post, this will honestly be like one of the best games I've ever seen. Oh, this is how they tell all the times and stuff and where you are. They still have it here.
Yep. November 22nd, 8:43 a.m. The Supreme Court of Judicature, the Defendant's Antechamber 5.
Oh dear.
I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate?
Oh. Oh, is this me?
Sure.
Oh, okay. What?
Oh, no, nothing.
Savior glares. Murderer.
Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horse incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial.
Liza.
So,
that's-
do you... I think you should be the best friend character, which I think this might be him showing up now.
Oh, okay. That's enough. I don't know.
That's him! Yep!
Oh, here he is. He's not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. Then who are you?
Ace Attorney presents Talking to Yourself, the video game.
I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. Until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you hold your tongue. Technicalities, look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave.
Where's that breeze coming from?
Wish I knew. I think it's haunted. Right, Ryunosuke?
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
What are you apologizing to me for?
Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry.
There you go again, apologizing. Just like always.
Ah,
Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you?
Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone.
Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head up. Alright, hold your head high.
I think Kazuma stole Bardock's headband.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been watching too much Dragon Ball.
You mean...
I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma Osugi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate.
It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet.
You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started.
Flashback.
Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last!
I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government cities have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. I couldn't see because of the his hand is white too.
So you're representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. Actually, that's a problem. I think I can turn down the transparency.
Yeah, if they had like a little shadow drop at the,
Is that
at the
better?
bottom of it. Oh yeah, that's way better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you. And proud. As your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple, causing his headband to continuously float in the air as if there's wind everywhere.
Why is this happening? I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes.
The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too.
Then come with me.
Me to you and the siblings all the time now. Come with me!
We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets in Her Majesty's city and London together.
If only it were that simple.
Oh, dang, he does sound like me. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer.
Good idea. And after all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
Off he goes. That's when it happened. Asugi, may I have a word?
No. Alright. Professor, I didn't know you were coming.
Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asugi, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers.
To His Excellency's chambers. Why?
He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before.
I see. Now go at once then.
I shall accompany you.
Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom.
Yes. Thanks, Kazuma.
Sure.
This is awkward. If I may? Yes, sorry! You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right! My name is Yuji Mikotoba. I'm a professor at forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad.
Asuke has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know.
Know what?
Well, as you no doubt heard, Asuke has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that that permission will be revoked and never granted again.
What?
Well, dang.
As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asuke may have chosen not to tell you.
He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand! Why would the government do such a thing?
The administration is to choose from a large number of applicants from overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances.
I don't believe it. But I didn't do it! I swear it! I'm not a murderer.
I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial.
Sorry? What do you mean?
You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway.
But then what should I do?
Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction.
Right, so...
As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do.
Am I getting married?
Don't be stupid.
I do.
But I do.
What would the... But sir, gay marriage isn't allowed here yet.
What? You idiot!
Dang it, will you focus?
Sorry, I... But what would the question be?
Surely. You know the answer.
Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you?
Of course not.
Oh, defendant. Get your butt in there. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom.
It would seem our surreptitious discussions would be cut short.
That's quite a word.
It sure is. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asugi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours.
What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point anyone advocating the likes of you anyway.
Yikes!
Jeez. You guys are mean.
This is it. If the trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny.
Oh.
22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Also, fun fact here. You're using Courtroom number 2 in the Ace Attorney games.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
It's
it's kind of like a running gag, but not really. It's just like one of those things like, oh yeah, we're always in the second courtroom. Like,
That's cool.
so this is a courtroom.
That's
Oh,
you.
wait. That's me. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power.
I don't much like the look of these people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there.
The powers that have demanded that this be a secret trial.
A secret trial?
Oh, the powers that. A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend.
What? But why?
It'll become clear in time, but for now...
I wish he just, like, shrugged, like, hell, I...
You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Hey, it's that guy!
Kind of. Would you like to be the judge in this, or do you want me to take care of it?
I mean, I could be the judge if you want me to.
Have at it. I guess I'll be the, Wow, I can't... The prosecution.
That nerd
I guess it'll be
guy.
the prosecution. Yeah.
Yeah. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
If I may make a suggestion, he's not as old as you make him sound. Not this one.
Oh,
This one's
okay.
younger. He has dark hair,
Alright,
not white hair.
I'll make him younger then.
You're good.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
Nerd. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself.
Look at Ryunosuke. His eyes. He's just, like, nervous.
Yeah, that was me when I went to the DMV. Normal procedure is for the defendants
Advocacy.
advocacy. Yeah, advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for a final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? I dare you to say something.
This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Alright, Batu, what should we do? Wait and see or answer I do?
Shiza, I think we should answer you do, right? This is probably the
It's up to
question.
you.
I think I do? I don't know. I think so. Yes. Oh, we're running out of time. Oh. Whew. Yeah, Your Excellency. No confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope
Yes!
it's clear who will... Oh dear. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? Oh,
I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself.
oh snap. You'll be... What?
Say what?
What are you playing at? Ryunosuke!
Professor Mikotoba told me everything. Just now, before the trial.
He did what?
He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose.
How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off?
No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you...
Yes. I knew that's how you feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Shut up. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel, really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he is confident he can speak for himself.
I'm glad Kazuma
though-
has, like, all the wit and courage and, like, you know, everything that Ryunosuke is in desperate need of right now. It's like, obviously
Like,
he's so innocent, it's very clear.
But literally, he could speak for himself. Oh, isn't that so, Naruhodo-san?
Oh! Yes, exactly! He's like, huh? I was like, huh?
What?
Exactly
He
what I
blanked
wasn't
out.
thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact,
Nah,
my mind's a complete blank. Hey, that's me every day!
yeah. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
Shut up, nerd. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. So I make myself clear, defended Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Naruhodo. It is therefore my duty to assess whether your competence for the task you have undertaken.
My competence? What does that mean?
He's questioning your ability to do the job.
Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am.
Oh dear. So let's start with the very simplest of questions.
Oh, yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I can remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again?
Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank?
Oh, you know me so well.
All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record.
But I can't even find that.
It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of the R button. And if you ever forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there.
I just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose.
Do it! This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back.
John H. Wilson, age 47, the victim in this case. He is visiting a professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Tatsuki... Taketsuchi Ouchie. Winston Payne. Ouchie. Get it?
Oh, my sternum. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, and then press X to present. Try it now.
Yes!
Yeah!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, and invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed. Which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. Therefore, there can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
Oh yeah, I've totally heard of that.
Ryunosuke, have you heard of it?
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Ugh, I didn't do it.
This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. Feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient, expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime.
So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Sorry, Cosmo, I didn't realize you were reading my script. Whoops.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to read your script. Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman.
Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime.
Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going.
Hey, remember this that we looked at a while ago? Here it is again, but we get something more from it.
Yeah.
Alright,
Oh.
I'll see you later. I think I'll stay to enjoy this place a little longer.
Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. McDonald's. See you in English class tomorrow.
Ah yes, the finest of dining.
Yes. I eat a burger
yeah,
with
the
a fork and knife.
1800s McDonald's. It was the British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson.
Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruto.
Yes, Your Excellency.
How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death, or I'll kill you.
The cause of death? Wait, you're executioner? The cause of death.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
I'm
obviously
Judge
that
Jury
was,
and Executioner.
Seems a little lopsided. Well, obviously, the cause of death was,
Rinosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence.
by evidence? But how?
Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, and select present. Do it now!
Well, that'd be the post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body.
Oh,
Yes!
so it was the wedge.
Well... according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Jeez.
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report.
In the West, a doctor dissects the corpse to identify the cause of death in an autopsy.
An automobile!
Vroom, vroom. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way.
Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be testing any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can
Ouch.
clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
That steak looked good. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept the modern scientific evidence into the record.
The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. So that's a
Cool.
photographic print. Well, That's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail's incredible.
Shut up! Very well. I am satisfied with your answers.
Man, he sure is aggressive.
I know. I kinda don't like him. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Ugh, this is it then.
I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind.
The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba?
Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant.
Ah, of course. When he was speaking to me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asuki must not be the defense lawyer in this trial.
He really has mistaken his Orion, hasn't he? Mistaken his Orion?
Yeah. Maybe, but
I've heard.
any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, because, I mean, this is like the 1800s.
Yeah, that's true. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats.
Only if you rein that crazy headband, control the cold stares first.
I can't do anything about this headband. I tried.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Also, do you want me the witness here, or should you want me to do it?
You can be him
Okay,
if you want to.
of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at a Western style restaurant called La Carnival.
Sir, you're
Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Really should.
yeah,
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago.
I love me, please. Understood. Listen, August-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident.
At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few we have a few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Yes! Hold on! Let me clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
Objection! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But...
Next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruhodo.
he said penalized.
Ah, you oof. Don't worry, Inosuke. You have your chance to fight back.
Also, I'm giving you a heads up. From this, after this case, you'll be voicing Ryunosuke. There are reasons for that. But for now, you could be Kazuma and the judge.
Okay. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness.
Ugh. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Hey.
Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman, the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table.
What's the matter, Ryunosuke?
That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... Uh-oh. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table.
You...
Sorry, I was reading your script this time. Whoops. And that's not something the way
it
that
happens
could
all the time.
I know. I like to imagine, like you can see them just, like, huddling around this, like, stack of papers, just, like, looking over each other's shoulders, like, what?
So, wait. That's your line. Sorry. I mean...
I've
Where's
been worried
mine?
about interjecting, but still. What should I do? Alright, Patu, what should we do?
Now, we should probably wait and see. Because we
Alright.
don't want to interject again. We'll get penalized.
Alright, your call. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject.
Ryunosuke. Parents tell you to study. You're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you?
I suppose I am. I never have gotten to Yume University otherwise.
But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know.
Yeah, you gotta pick up a
don't
gun and
think-
kill a few people to make things go, and I mean, that was a poor
yeah.
choice of words.
Oh. We here at the channel do not condone such violence.
Well, it was
Find
poor,
out
poor
later.
choice of words because Ryunosuke is accused of shooting someone to death, so...
Oh yeah, that's true.
But we also don't
I-
condone that, but...
Yeah, I mean, this is a game. You can do that in a game, just not in real life. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty.
Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it. Yes! Yes! Just a moment, please! Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Objection! Dear me, dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw.
Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy.
No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to.
Let me see. Ah, sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume.
That's
God,
right.
this looks terrible.
I'm afraid to use the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone.
Can't tell from this looks like a kid drew it. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter.
Thank you, sir.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well,
Is there a problem? And the plan to the court officer at once.
of course. Here you are.
What's that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now.
Something certainly seems to have shaken him.
Dang, man, you sure you don't want to take care of that?
It's a common occurrence. It really doesn't bother him.
I guess not.
So,
Jeez.
the court has now heard a precis of the case. Precis. Ooh.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. But seeing we're looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo,
Yes, Your Excellency.
you admit your guilt at this stage. The court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this way as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. I must warn the defense. If you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
Huh.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me this trial is unusual. About these peculiarities. Kazuma, surely you understand. You said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this.
As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it?
What?
If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty, or are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Darn it! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses.
Hey, sure is
Dang,
intense.
man. Then we'll see how decisive this evidence really is. Shut up! Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with the proceeding.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. That's right, plural.
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Also, bring me a cheeseburger.
Now, take your pick on which one you want to be. Actually, I'm calling dibs on the old man. I got a good old man voice.
Oh, okay.
It's basically just modified ouchie voice. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant.
Yes, no, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, no, sir.
Yep!
Oh, I get it. Yes, sir, no, sir. Reported for duty, sir.
Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio correcta, at your service. The joke on my name is I'm a collector of curios, and my store name Rasute is Rusty. It's funny.
Your face is funny. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Look, we were hungry, you see. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always past noon. And, not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying.
He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at Le Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets Le Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele.
Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking a foreigner and can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniform rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir.
This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Did you happen to hear it?
I didn't hear it.
Okay. You'll hear it eventually. But there was a sound there. I'll give you a hint. It sounded like maybe a small child making a noise.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay, I'll have to listen back for it. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead.
Yes.
Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable?
If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. We'll state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Standing by ready. I think I just heard it.
Yep, you did.
The heck? Standing by ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
You please put that pot down.
No. Nuh-uh.
No. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At the precise moment a firearm was discharged, I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, that cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio.
So you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. The wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy.
This is quite the knife I have here.
Why do you have that?
What times we live in, when English gentlemen may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous! I didn't shoot anyone! I'm hearing a baby, and you're holding a knife! Nonsense.
Really true, Ryunosuke?
Well, I'm sure about the last two things. Yes.
Oh.
All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor.
Dude, don't touch it. You'll get your prints all over it.
There's no, they don't have that here. It's too early.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Never mind.
But yes, normally, yeah. After I said
Yeah.
hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Could really go for some right now, honestly. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Bang!
Ow. Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in those two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was.
I like how Correct is always just like trembling or whatever.
Oh, he must
There-
be cold.
There is?
Rinosuke, you must exercise the right to cross-examine the witness.
Cross-examine?
Do it now!
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony of the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict
Yes!
of this. What the? What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst?
I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How do you know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
Shut up, nerd! The defense is asserting its right to cross-examination. Whether or not you think it is capable of it is irrelevant.
You're relevant!
You're cringe! Nah.
You're... Kazuma's so commanding.
Very well.
I wish I was Kazuma.
You can all be Kazuma. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright. This is where the battle really begins for Yunosuke.
But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination.
You cross-examine.
What?
Isn't obvious?
Wow, thanks, Kazuma!
Ah, you're welcome, buddy. You have to expose the lies on the witness stand.
How?
You didn't fire the gun, which means what the soldier said has to be a lie.
Well, yes, but...
Just a case of proving it. And the key to doing it is evidence.
Right. Evidence.
All you need to do is present some evidence, some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Dang it! Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you.
Not very imposing. He's like, Alright then. It's all or nothing. Alright, Patu. It is time. What the witnesses saw. Now, of course, we can always press on a statement. We can always present evidence on a statement. And that's pretty much the only actions we got. So, whatever you want to do, we got 5 statements to look at. So here's our first one.
Oh. Okay, he's ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion. Okay.
And then, basically, the old man's entire thing is, I'm trying to sell my stuff.
Yeah. At the precise moment of the firearm... Oh, at that precise moment Okay, observe the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Did you really?
Do you want to press? Do you...
Yeah, let's press here.
Alright. Yes! So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that time?
But if I saw you, laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian.
I don't think he actually saw him!
I don't think he did either.
Still doesn't have that, that desk slammed going yet. But that's impossible! I only...
Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? I'm not private. I'm actually very open about my feelings. Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have just been after you heard the gunshot that you looked over in the victim's table. And so what if it was? Alright, Waluigi. Well, if that's really the case, it would mean that you didn't, in fact, see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun.
Mm.
Darn! And double R! Sixth sense.
Sorry?
My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Did you? Which me? A split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
That's
Surely that's not really possible. Is it?
unless you're Goku. Do you think I'd have got where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Well, it would seem the soldier's absolutely convinced that he saw you do it, the deed.
This is not good. Also, let's go ahead and take a look at our evidence just to make sure we know what we have.
Okay.
So we have our... This will not be necessary. It's just
Alright.
our badge saying
Yeah,
that, yes, we went to university. We have the autopsy report.
See, death occurred a little after 2 p.m. Okay.
Now keep in mind, the entire thing behind this autopsy report is there's not autopsies that are carried out in Japan, so it's just it is the body is looked at and then how they died is figured out from looking at it. So it looks like that Mr. Wilson died from blood loss of a gunshot. Then we have a picture, which, you know, pretty much shows that.
Right.
Mistake.
Yeah,
And then we have our waiter's business card. Which...
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing all that much here. But that's to, I guess, keep you on the up and up what we got.
Okay.
So then we have this statement.
Wait. And from the back.
Hmm.
But in the picture, it shows that there's a hole in his front, though, right? It said it, and it can't be like it just shot through him because they said the bullet didn't. The bullet was still wedged in his body.
You know,
But it looks like
you may be onto something because from the back, he obviously wasn't paying that much attention, and we have a picture of, well, not his back. So, is it time to present the photograph?
Yeah, let's show him that. That's weird.
Yes.
Ryunosuke. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of the subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache.
Wah! He has a very Waluigi kind of mustache.
He does.
Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. Ugh, there's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense! What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the Grand Courtroom. This is so frustrating.
Darn! Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court.
Cosma, what? What are you talking about?
Heh, nerd. Apparent from an angled glance of the photographic print presented by the defense. That there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant, yes sir, no sir. Yes sir, what sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes sir, affirmative sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Your military-grade eyes might need military-grade glasses. Yes, but no, that just can't be.
And why not, cadet?
Because... He's like, Cosma, help!
Take a good there he goes, kid. That boy.
Yeah.
The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. See? The chest, not the back, no, sir. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What the? Abu?
What? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again.
Certainly. There is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, sir? No, sir. Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, and my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir.
What?
The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Yasanosa, did not see the defendant firing the gun at all.
That's absurd.
He's your witness.
I know!
I think the conclusion must draw simple. Darn! There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom.
Oh! Burn.
Hey, baby.
There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial. There's not one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. Hey, he said the name of the game!
Yeah!
Roll credits!
Awesome. But I definitely saw him.
Yeah, you saw me, sure, but...
The university cadet there. He was pointing the fire directly at the victim's back.
The back. He's very insistent on the back, though.
Yes!
Yes! But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor.
And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
It's hard to see when your eyesight's 20,400,000.
Oh, yeah, that would hinder you, wouldn't it?
Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Dancing, young man. I mean,
Walking
hunting for treasure.
They walking the dinosaur, it seems like.
Indeed! The Hoya Koban, my prize coin! On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habit to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop Rusty. In hope of being a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was the military man that I proffered my Hoya treasure. Believe that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished. Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there. And then it happened. I saw nothing.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoya treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
Nuh-uh.
No.
You mean, that lamentable day, the precious Hoya Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
Don't know what you're talking about, sir. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Please stop talking about coins.
No.
Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
Well, they're just gonna have to wait now, aren't they?
Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it. Oh, subservient. Oops.
Yeah, you're good.
Dang it. Our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now.
It's true.
What's your position? Prosecutor, ouchie.
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make, despite the fact they clearly didn't see anything, but...
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What?
He really seems to have a despicable opinion if he doesn't he? What a nerd. Very well. The court invites witnesses to testify again. No lying. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir.
Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think.
Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up against the ranks, sir. Name, Ido.
What? Say his first and last name together.
Oh, I don't know. That's so crazy. I love it, though.
Yeah.
It's great. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido. Tension! Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy.
Okay. The true culprit.
Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment that the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Sure.
Think it is.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was. That young lad in black. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, our visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed. Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. That doesn't add up to what Ryunosuke was thinking.
Nope. Therefore, no one other than a black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. I don't know if that's true.
Yes!
These testimonies are
Yes!
certainly...
Wait! That's nonsense! The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already! He can't get his lines out! Frick! But there was a woman! There was a young woman at his table! You must have seen her! Everyone there must have seen her!
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Objection! If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Because everyone left. Is this the photographic print of the scene of the crime council?
Indeed. Of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident.
I don't know about immediately.
As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set.
Certainly. Based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in company of anyone else.
This doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record.
Of course, Iyasanosa and Kurekta obviously did see the lady, because they're like looking away when he was like, you obviously saw her. Like,
Yeah, like how in the world could you not?
Which means
like,
something else is afoot. If they obviously did see her, and they are not testifying, I don't understand. What's going on
must
here?
Be doing something.
It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman.
The waiter before us said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well.
But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him.
It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Taketsuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule.
Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
What?
Oh, sorry, that was my impression of Zero. If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes.
You didn't sound like a nasally punk.
What
am I fighting for?
Oh, he sounded much cooler as when you're fighting.
Kazuma, that's the wrong Capcom IP. We're Ace Attorney.
Whoops, this is a Mega Man. Sorry. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I'm ready to draw my sword.
I don't know, Kazuma.
Listen, if it doesn't work, I'll just cut everyone down. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood?
You may not murder anyone, but I've at least murdered 3 people here. 3? Yes. Me, the judge, and the prosecutor. Ouch. Rules can be so unbending at times.
Oh, gotta do it.
Okay.
Let's see. Do we find discrepancies or not?
So of course, we have one more piece of evidence to look at, which is the crime scene photograph. But
Okay.
it really just shows us what was behind Wilson. So what he was
Yeah.
having, ball of wine or water here, and steak,
Ah.
fork,
So
knife, kind of a Western branding, very typical of Roadhouse kind of stuff, and flowers.
good old flares.
Yep.
Okay. Even if what I saw wasn't precise mode, the firearm was discharged. It's almost the
Okay.
same thing.
And
Okay.
he's like, yeah, I also saw him pointing the gun. That's all he saw
Okay.
is pointing the gun, though.
Yeah. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
So basically, it was only him and Correcta. That's it.
Oh.
And then he just, you know,
Yeah.
they are very insistent that Mr. Wilson was dining all by himself, even though we know, for a shadow of a doubt, that he was not dining alone. And the fifth
No.
statement is like, yeah, obviously Ryunosuke did it. Now,
Okay.
what is our course
So-
of action here? We'll begin from statement 1, and you can choose what to do from there.
Okay.
So we
Let's
can either
see.
press, present, or move on to the next statement.
Okay, so I guess we don't press or do anything right here. It's like, it's almost the same thing. It's like, well, technically it's not because you didn't see me do it. So yes, pointing his gun at the foreman, he was that young lad in black. That much I did. Yeah, that much I myself.
So
did
anything,
see.
like you want to do anything with this, or
Uh,
just move on?
Oh, I don't know, because he said he only heard it, but
I will say there are no
you-
penalties for pressing anything.
yeah, because he said he was under the table like all the time. So he said he didn't see it; he only heard it.
True, he heard the gun shot.
Yeah, and he said he didn't care about like what was going on about there. He was just looking for his coin. So
You want to press?
kinda, because
Okay.
that seems kind of weird.
Yes! Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I told you already. That's only because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously, as a culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I had just finished drinking my coffee, and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And at exactly that moment, a gunshot rang in my ears. Full of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry? What do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as... So basically, he saw him holding the gun, but then he went to the floor right before the gunshot happened. He only saw Ryunosuke holding the gun, but he didn't see any gunshots.
Okay,
Yeah.
So so okay, that part is clean then.
Yeah. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you, with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Okay, so that didn't lead to anything. Third one, he's saying that, yeah, it was just me and the old man.
Okay.
And the fourth statement, yeah, it was me and him, and Wilson was obviously all by himself.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a
That's a
hint.
lot.
We gotta do something with this statement.
Oh, I kind of wonder, should we press, maybe, or should we?
Well, if you're thinking about presenting, what would even make sense here? We don't necessarily have anything that
Nah.
would, be like, obviously he was with someone else.
Yeah, we really don't. The only other thing was just that other that cart the waiter had, just to show
Mhm.
like everyone there. But at the same time, he didn't mark anything else. Just that man.
That's true.
Oh, so yeah. Hey, we can press, I
Sure.
guess.
Yes! So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let's not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there's only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for one. No.
The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Oh, that's you.
You're good.
Sheesh.
Don't worry, you'll be taking up Ezreal Nosegate soon. After this first case. So, now that we've done this, pressing was the correct thing to do. Oh, hold up. Sorry. It's the third state we had to do the pressing on. I'm sorry.
Oh.
But we were on the right track. Yes!
Oh, so we...
You must have known someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. Objection! As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Ugh. If only there had been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her.
Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner at any restaurant.
I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect.
Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of time to eat. I wonder if there is a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
Why didn't you show that
Why
before?
why didn't we present it? Because no one asked for it.
Because you're an idiot!
No, because I'm sneaky.
You slime
I'm smart
ball.
enough not to present it first. It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. He got all Fs, especially in oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing.
Ooh, ow. It's gonna be
Ouchie.
hold back a year. Oh, ouch.
It would seem it would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
At a clinic. There would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on this case.
I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke?
Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really.
Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful.
Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not? What do we do? Yeah, obviously.
You got to.
Yes! If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Shut up, nerd! Whether or not they are concerned is up to us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible uh,
Avenues.
Oh, avenues. Dang it.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you can have it. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence.
You're not funny!
I try to be. Very well, the court will grant the defense request.
Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend.
Why don't you just step down?
Just wait until 2020!
Oh, no. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record.
And there it is. We now have new evidence.
What we need now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first.
Right. I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like. But it's the day after the festival already for you. Well, perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, correcta-san. Okay, so, before we move on, we can now take a look at the medical report card. Well, actually we can't look at it, it's just what we have here. But
Oh.
later. Later.
Okay.
Now, I will say, there's nothing else we can do on these statements, so for now, we'll move on.
Excellent work, Rinosuke. We've gleaned some new evidence now. Some new information now.
Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light.
I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before.
No.
Why?
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, that. Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it a little more detail.
How exactly? By looking at it?
Yeah, you have eyes.
What?
You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are ones you may examine. Press A. You can take a closer look at the piece in question.
Use the right stick.
Yeah, use the right stick. See, you can spin it. Isn't that cool? Rotate the evidence in all directions to examine it from all
Isn't that
angles.
cool? It's called using your hands, Ryunosuke.
You know how to do that, right? By using the left... Oh, the left stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that? See that?
It's called using your eyes.
Right stick uses your hands, the left one uses your eyes. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. As the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't any new. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need... Yes, thank you. Okay. So, let's see. Let's examine here. It says Hota Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics. All as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries.
Aren't they all the same?
When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life.
Most people would give their right arm to have only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything.
First,
Watch this.
it looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago.
It's probably a record of long-time treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine.
Well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one.
Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors, then?
Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money for you for privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb.
Sound like a model patient. But a bad case of stubbornness, no less. Oh, for which only a cure is very bitter medicine indeed.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hey, that's folded. What's this? Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day that the professor was killed. Extraction of what topical anesthesia?
Anastasia, yeah. Anesthesia. Yeah, whatever that word is. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out?
It would seem so. Just for the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief.
It's true. Still is. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you from feeling pain.
Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthesia effects have passed. Oh.
Huh. That's weird. Really?
Sounds like information worth bearing in mind.
Alright. Updated.
Okay.
With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes.
So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you?
Definitely. So, which statement... Let's see. Yeah, discharged.
See, yes.
Saw the gun.
Yeah, okay.
Only one's there.
Yeah.
Dining all by himself.
No. Hold on a minute. But look at the
So
medical
it gets even worse when we consider he can't eat or drink anything for 3 hours after his procedure. Only water.
Yeah.
Who was having the steak then?
Steak?
Yeah. So,
Huh.
what do you wish to
Man,
do?
really
This
gonna
is
make
a
our guy
statement to
confused.
do the thing on, but what thing are we doing here?
We gotta show him the you gotta show him the medical report that says that he wasn't supposed to eat or drink anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's doing that, then
Yep.
hee. Yes.
Well, I think, about what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused.
You know, KK. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it.
Thanks, Kazuma.
You got this, bud. I could see it quite clearly in the cross-examination you just carried out. You raised your hand straight up like that, so perfectly. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking.
I'm hungry! Not that.
Nah, we'll get lunch later. Go to McDonald's.
But I don't want to go there anymore. Alright,
Oh.
and thanks for the advice.
You got this, Ryunosuke.
Correct-san. This is a medical report card belonging to the victim. I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. Objection! Dear me, dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see.
I want to cut off his ponytail.
Let's see if I can explain words you might understand. Do you understand? It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
Is it?
You're relevant!
Yeah, you
That's-
tell him, Ryunosuke. Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words.
You dumb and wrong! Okay, maybe a few more words.
Yeah,
but-
you need a little intelligence. Just a little, just a smidge. Just a smidge. Yeah, just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court have heard have been clear and concise. This medical report has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides his pale-faced pupil who could possibly have— Hey! You can't slam the desk with power! That's— You're supposed to look at your hands like, what was that? This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? That outburst have petrified me, boy! Of course I believe it! How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hota Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you the victim had just a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
Just what are you trying to say, cadet? Yeah, orders not to eat? So what?
It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't. Correct, son. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally,
More?
you have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case! Kazuma, I did it! I slammed the desk!
Good boy.
Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Ah!
Expertly done, partner.
Yeehaw! Wrong partner.
Yo!
Objection! What is this nonsense? You little upstart! These are baseless accusations! Just look at the photographic evidence!
Yeah.
You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. I thought you were supposed to be the smart one. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow logic?
How dare you?
I dare. I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned.
Oh!
Got him! Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke?
Yes, most definitely.
So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Ooh. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? I wish I was. The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel?
Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
Alright, the answer to this question is going to be, pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of.
Flesh and bones. Got it.
No, not that.
Oh, whoops. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... Alright. Who is it, Patu? Is it the victim? Ryunosuke? Correcta and Yesa, or someone else?
And as yet to unknown third party, because he keeps saying the woman, but no one saw the woman, but Ryunosuke clearly saw her, so it must be the yet unknown third party.
Mm-hmm. Obviously! It can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table. Objection! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
Yes! There was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet, we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Darn! Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. These guys suck! If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly.
Kazuma,
Think of all that paperwork.
are you insane?
Maybe.
You would take on the government?
I mean, I have a sword. Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have an issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand.
What?
What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies...
Uh-oh.
No. Obviously, you'll be charged with,
Perjury.
Perjury.
Yep.
Perjury. And, since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed, was it?
Complicit.
Complicit?
Yep.
Complicit in the killing.
Complicit in murder? No!
Negative! There was no mention of this is a tactical meeting.
Huh? Meeting?
Uh-oh. I was just following orders.
That's right. As the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh. What? What did you just say, Correcta-san? No. You were just following orders. Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. Ugh. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas?
What? Objection! What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair?
Just one simple slip of the tongue. Oh. Order! Counsel, explain what's going on here.
I wish I knew.
It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not! The prosecutor knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well,
That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening.
Oh, but it is.
Oh dear. Rinosuke. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence.
An influencer? Like Markiplier?
Yeah. Yeah, him. Or one of
Who?
those things on that talk tick. However, I don't believe Ouchi had any idea about it.
What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose.
Well, any ideas who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit.
So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut.
Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here.
But how? How can we possibly...
Remember how we made progress before?
Before?
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. I want food. It's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated. I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please,
Uh-oh.
wait. Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this?
Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout the first thing that comes to my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... Okay, so... Who among these people is the one who told them? Is it Kazuma? Mr. Mikotoba? The prosecutor? The dead man? The guy who was being strange? Or the I was about to say dumb. The dumb witnesses?
It probably has to be the waiter, right? Because he's acting strange. Yeah, it's him.
Yes! Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? Oops. I win the judgment for a second.
I mean, you can be the judge if you want to, Ryunosuke. I kind of get tired sitting in this chair.
I'm having a very hard time being defense. Whew.
Oh, well, alright. I guess I'll take the role from here. So, Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection! Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even the head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
Once, I would agree with you.
Oh, thank goodness.
If, that is, the men were truly a waiter.
Oh, frick. What? If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit the court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity is proven by this evidence.
So, remember how we got his business card and he was super sketchy about it?
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, no, you shouldn't take that away, no. Oh. Oh. Well, that's unexpected.
What is?
Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? It's Toro Hosonaga.
Well, yes. Business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point.
Not the name that's
Silly
unexpected.
Kazuma.
It's his job title.
Oh. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth?
No idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. They're wielding it somehow here.
And there we go. We now have what we need.
Oh dear. Well,
Yes!
the plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? He draws like a 5-year-old? I agree it shows great attention and detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
I beg your pardon? Don't understand.
Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes! It's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. I could have said flip it around, but I got so, you know...
I understand. Would someone please explain what this overexcited Sue is trying to say? Hosanaga's son sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. Just turn it around. The front of the business card reveals that the man in question's profession, his true profession. See? The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! Oh! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you had seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well...
Oh. Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well...
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I try to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So, you mean to say, you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Oh. Your salary is horrible! No! Undercover?
No, my salary's great, actually.
Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant lately. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover.
It's incidents at the restaurant. What kind of incidents?
That would be classified police information, which I'm not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide.
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. And that's indeed true. Clearly, you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other person, to the other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Gosh, you should
Correct,
really get
Your
that
Excellency.
checked out.
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Unbelievable!
As I suspected.
As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table as a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman.
So the truth comes out.
I immediately sealed up the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean like an underdone steak? No, not that kind.
Oh, we can get steak later.
Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those are my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was a killer? I think it'd be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question.
So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case.
But it's not right!
One possibility does spring to mind.
What do you mean, Kazuma?
Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them studying in the medical facility research laboratory is a young Englishwoman.
What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean... When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first.
Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector.
The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I'm so out of the loop, it's crazy! I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a discretion of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection! But, Your Excellency! That would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Council.
I am calm.
You don't look calm. I will
I'm
not allow
not.
the government of our country of any other influence to the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes, sir.
will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem.
Oh dear.
Nothing will get in my way.
Except for that sickness.
No, I'm fine.
Oh. Alright. Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
To be continued. And
Oh,
that is
yeah.
the end of this episode. Thoughts so far, my brother?
I am all in for this. This is all good to me. I cannot wait to see what happens next.
Very good. Well then, that'll be it for the episode. So thank you all so very much for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, check the links in the description, keep an eye for community posts, and as always, we'll see you then.
Then.